And we are back. And we just finished 2024 as I Saw the TV Glow, rated PG-13 with a runtime of 1 hour and 40 minutes. This comes to us from writer-director Jane Schoenburn, who, this is, I guess, her second film. We also, you and I had seen...
Let's all go to
the World's Fair, but we did not discuss it on the podcast because it infuriated me. And this one didn't infuriate me, but somebody really needs to tell me why this movie is so fantastic, because I didn't see it.
I won't be able to tell you because I did not enjoy this film at all.
Yes, I did not enjoy this film at all. I mean, I would rather see this again than the other one.
Yeah.
Because the other one was shite.
I would probably say I preferred this to the World's Fair one.
But
this one wasn't
not much better.
Fun experience either.
No. Okay, so I didn't do much of a deep dive, but I have read that this is supposed to be representative of a trans person. I didn't see this at all in the film. There's a scene where the Owen character is in a dress, but it's never expanded on. It's never addressed. It's never talked about. It's just one sequence where him and Maddie are like on a football field or something, and he's wearing a dress. I don't know. I think you see like a quick clip of it twice in the film. I don't know if it's the same night.
Well, there was them walking on the field, and then there was what looked like, I guess, him trying on the dress in the bathroom or something.
Right.
Like that. And that's the one I think they showed twice.
Okay.
But in that clip, you don't really see anything. It's just his head, and you see that he's wearing some sort of like strap, like around his neck, which would imply that he's wearing a dress. Mm. Then you see him walking with Maddie on the football field
in the dress. And isn't it juxtaposed with like a sequence of Isabel and Tara walking?
I think so. Yeah. Because apparently, I mean, are we giving away?
Yeah, I don't give a shit. No, we can talk about it.
Because they're supposed to be those characters in, I guess, this different reality. And I guess if you wanted to, I guess, really stretch it, you could say this would be like, I guess, a representation of, or an allegory for being trans. And from what I read, it's like supposed to represent what she called the egg crack moment when you realize that you're trans or something like that. But like you said, the fact that they
glossed over it.
It's really just glossed over.
Blink,
it's a blip.
You don't even see it.
The main focus of the story seems to just be Owen is this very
awkward,
possibly autistic,
possibly on the spectrum,
kid who doesn't have friends anymore. His mom is, I don't know, in the beginning, I don't know if she realizes she's sick, but eventually she does become sick. His father seems to be sort of like this ogre type figure.
Very standoffish,
doesn't allow much, very controlling. Oh, you got to be in bed by 9 o'clock, and he's in what, 7th grade or something like that. That's kind of crazy. So, like, when I was initially watching, because I didn't know anything, I went in blind to this film. I didn't know that it was supposed to be like an allegory for anything. Mm-hmm. I just thought, he's a quiet autistic kid. Mm-hmm. Didn't pick up anything about trans or anything. You could sort of like see that, considering, okay, if they're supposed to be these two characters from the show's the two characters are girls. Mm-hmm. And so if he's one of the characters, then his alter character is a girl. So
he identifies as female.
He would identify as that, but that was like another aspect of the movie that felt really shortchanged, was Maddie was like psychotic about this program.
Yes.
Like psychotic. Like she
was reading books
about it, knew every single bit of the lore, knew every single episode, talks about it. And Owen just sort of felt like, I'm watching this because I want to be friends with somebody, and for some reason I've latched onto this girl.
Yeah.
I mean, was the reason he latched onto him because they really were those characters from the Pink Opaque?
Mm-hmm. Who knows? Yeah.
Or was it just some moment that, she was sitting there and there was something about her that I don't know, he just became fixated about.
This movie felt like a bunch of vignettes thrown together.
You know what? I feel like there is this, I guess, this new genre of quote unquote horror movie.
This is not a horror movie.
It's supposed to be.
But it's not.
It's supposed to have.
It's
supposed to have like horror elements. I imagine.
What was the horror about it?
This, like, let me finish. There's like this genre where it's, oh, we're gonna scare you by just creating atmosphere. Is there anything in the atmosphere? That's all in your mind. We're relying on your mind to do all the heavy lifting that we as writers couldn't really convey on the screen. And I feel like World's Fair fell into this. This falls into this. There's some movie called Skinamarink that apparently falls into this, where it's just, we're going to pan a camera very slowly. We're going to play some low noise. And that's it. That's really it. Maybe you'll see something. Maybe we'll throw in a special effect or something like that. But that's pretty much it. So, yeah, that was the length of the horror. And they made that ice cream thing look creepy, which that was part of the show, or was it part of his imagination? I don't know.
Or was someone just high? And
that was another thing that, like, the first time they do the pan going down the street, you see the ice cream truck. Mm-hmm. Completely unrelated. It never comes back up the rest of the movie. Mm-hmm. The ice cream man character never really comes back. He's just something that they saw on an episode, which when he later on sees the episode is just so ridiculously terrible that clearly reality has changed, I guess. Maybe things are different now because he really did miss his opportunity to turn back into Isabel. I don't know. Like you said, it really feels like a bunch of little vignettes that are all trying to just creep you out. Like, we're going to do something creepy here. And
I didn't feel...
It doesn't... No, it didn't work. I'm not saying I felt creeped out or anything like that. I'm just like, okay, I see what you're going for. But what you're doing is you're demonstrating the use of a tool to convey your story. But there's no real story there.
No.
You just keep using the tool over and over again. But you're not really advancing your story or enhancing it in any way.
Right.
That really, what to me was the problem with this movie. The story just
went nowhere.
It wasn't really fleshed out enough. It felt like I was watching the bullet points of a story.
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that.
And for your main character to be, I mean, this is the story you're trying to tell. According to you, this is the story of this guy coming to, or fighting with himself that he is not this way.
Is he fighting with himself though? I never got any sense of urgency for him trying to figure out who he really is.
That's the problem.
Or to sit in his gender identity crisis situation. Like,
that's
nothing.
What I mean. That's exactly
nothing.
What I
mean. To me, this felt like a guy that was just coasting through life. That's all it felt like.
Yes, that's what I mean. The writing did not convey this internal struggle that he was having.
Right.
I mean, if you didn't include the scene of him wearing, a blouse or a dress or whatever the hell he was wearing, I would never have realized that was supposed to be a theme that I was paying attention to. And it's not something that it's like, oh, well, you're just dense. You really need to look deeply.
Into what?
Yeah. Exactly. Into what? You need to explain things better.
Right.
You need to show things better, and I don't mean just look, the camera's moving real slow towards his face or down a hallway, or however many other times they did this. Oh, there's that television on fire. It's moving towards the TV real slow. Christ, how many times was that shot used? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Yeah. I felt like I was watching some sort of half-assed attempt at making a atmospheric horror movie, but for some reason it wasn't, and it was actually an allegory for struggling with your true self. And I never got that. I never got that from Owen. From Owen, he was just like a quiet kid who was clearly depressed, clearly living in a bad situation. His mom was dead. His father was a tyrant. Yeah. And honestly, if you would have said, oh, this is a film about struggling with autism,
I would believe that
I would have been
more.
like, okay, I believe that more.
Yeah.
But saying that, oh, well, he would have been so much happier if he just decided, hey, I'm a girl now.
Mm.
I never would have suspected.
No, same.
Yeah. Or falling, like, it would have made more sense if it was about a quiet, shy kid who fell under the power of somebody who was just more assertive and charismatic.
Like Maddie.
Like Maddie, who was completely psychotically obsessed with this show and was like, you know what? We're the main characters and I'm Tara because she's sexy and whatever. And you're Isabel because you're, I don't know,
my sidekick.
Prissy?
I don't know.
I got the impression Isabel was like the pretty girl and Tara was, the tough one. Mm-hmm. But like, why? Why would she look at Owen and be like, you're the pretty girl? And Owen is just like,
yeah.
It's not like he's like, oh, maybe I am the pretty girl. Maybe that's what's wrong with me. Maybe that's why I'm the way I am. Because I've been secretly a girl this entire time. Mm-hmm. No. You're just a quiet kid, as far as I could tell. I mean, if that was the purpose of the story, then give me something else.
Right.
A great character in a story, he doesn't need to come out and just say, hey, I'm trans. You show me stuff. And it has to be more than, oh, this one let you put on one of her dresses.
Right.
In a snippet of film footage.
Right. That if you blink, you
blink, you miss it. So like seriously, the total amount of time of him, I guess, expressing his true self was probably less than 10 whole seconds of this entire movie.
Right.
That's just crap. There was nothing else in his room or anything that would give me any impression. I mean, am I supposed to believe that because The Pink Opaque is supposed to be a girl show? Or at least according to his dad, even though it's sort of like...
And how would his dad know?
Yeah. But even still, it's sort of like The Pink Opaque is clearly based on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which was not technically a girl show. It showed a strong female character.
But yeah.
But men, women, everybody loved that freaking show.
Also, sidebar, rest in peace, Michelle Trachtenberg.
Oh, yeah. Sad.
I'm sorry. Keep going.
But yeah, as a storyteller, you should be pointing these things out more. Like when you watch something over time, even without the person like verbally saying stuff, you pick up things. And this did not convey that at all.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why this movie got so much smoke blown up its ass. I really don't.
I honestly don't either.
Listen, as an ally, I want trans representation on the screen, but so many other films have done that better than this. I mean, do we still have ways to go? Sure. But this is not it. This is not horror. I agree with you. There's nothing outwardly trans about this character or this story experience. Nothing. I think in order to have made this film a better story experience, focus on Owen, go into his backstory, show me him struggling with his gender identity, show me being very chummy and having this wonderful relationship with his mother to the point where maybe she knows and she gives him a scarf that he wears. Or maybe when she's not around, he's at her makeup table, he puts on her lipstick just to see what it looks like. Maybe he forlornly looks out the street and sees boys playing. And maybe he focuses on certain body parts, maybe sweat on a brow, something, right? Show me him struggling with his gender identity. Because I didn't see that at all in this film. No. Like you mentioned, if you had said to me that Owen is on the spectrum, 100%, I would have been like, yeah, he definitely acted that way. He definitely felt like he was there. And not that trans people can't be on the spectrum, but if the filmmaker's intention was to call out and flag this community, I didn't see it here. I really didn't see it here.
Yeah.
And it's sort of a disservice to say this represents that because I don't see it. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just trying to really listen. This is opinions, right? I'm sure there's a ton of people that love this film for whatever reason. Maybe because it's an attempt to tell stories from the trans point of view. So, I mean, I guess it gets a point for that. But as far as telling stories about the trans experience, this film was not it. This film was also not a horror movie. Did it have like atmosphere? Sure. But
I think that's really the only tool that they were really using.
Right. But even that felt very muddied to me, because as I'm watching this film, all I kept thinking was, where are we going with this? Where are we going with this? This is the internal monologue in my brain as I was watching this film. Where are we going with this? So I'm super annoyed because the first film sucked. And I should have known that this film was going to suck. But because Martin Scorsese had something favorable to say about it, I said, oh, we should watch it. Well, shame on me.
You know what? I don't mind catching a bad film every now and again. I don't. It's not going to make this film's not going to make me angry. It wasn't for me.
It just wasn't what was advertised either, though. That's the other thing that annoys me, because it's like you're saying that this is supposed to be representative of this community, but it's not.
Well, maybe that's why I'm not as enraged about it as you, because I went in blind. I was not instructed that this was anything as far as I wasn't told I should be looking for this. To me, it was just a story about possible alternate realities where maybe the lore that Maggie was rambling on about like a crazy person, maybe it was real. I don't know. Maybe the reason why he had asthma was because he was actually locked up in a coffin and he was losing his breath. Who knows? And you'll never know, because the film just stops.
Yeah. There's no rhyme or reason. The end of this film was completely infuriating. I mean, it got to the point where you almost even doubt that Maddie's even real.
Yeah.
Because there's a case to be made for that as well.
I mean, bottom line is it's just bad storytelling.
It is bad storytelling.
If you can't convey the real story behind your main character, and then it's like, oh, I'm leaving it up to you. I don't mind an ambiguous ending. I don't mind.
Do that, but it's not.
I've seen plenty of films that leave you hanging with, oh my God, what happened?
Perfect example, Heretic. They don't spoon feed you. You see something, you interpret it as something, but guess what? When you deep dive, it becomes something else. But that story, I
cared about all the characters.
I cared. I couldn't connect with anybody in this fucking film.
Like in Heretic,
especially Owen.
Yeah, like in Heretic, I knew the personalities of the girls as they were going up to the meeting. You could just see in the way they carried themselves, the way they spoke. Owen, to me, his main characteristic was that he's quiet and possibly autistic.
Yeah.
There was never any sort of mentioning of gender curiosity or anything like that. Nothing like, it wasn't like, oh, there's something about him that he prefers, I guess, girlish things or something like that, or any sort of thing that would possibly be like a sort of clue or anything like that. And it wasn't even his idea. Like he had no idea what the hell the pink opaque was.
Because he wasn't allowed to stay up to watch it. Right.
Yeah. I think to me it felt like, oh, well, this cool girl likes this thing, and I want to be cool in the eyes of the cool girl.
Right.
So I'm going to like this too, which is something you could totally see a young kid in junior high school or high school.
Right, because he was 2 years younger than her.
Yeah. Especially a kid who was that lonely.
And another thing, he goes to sleepovers at the girl's house, at Maddie's house, but he tells his parents that he's going to his friend's house. You never see the friend. It's never explained why they're not friends anymore. They just sort of kind of drifted. They could have used that as a reason to explain maybe he got a little too touchy with the friend, right? Made things uncomfortable because he was in his trying to figure out his gender, and maybe he had a little crush on his friend. Maybe the friendship turned into this one-sided crush where Owen liked the friend. None of that's gone into. None of that.
Yeah.
And that would have been a perfect vehicle, because that would explain why these two kids aren't friends anymore.
And you see the kid's mother, there could have been a slight look from her.
Right.
Or something like, what are you doing here? Or something like that.
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah.
It was just an excuse to throw a person from Buffy in the movie. Is look, a cameo.
Who was she?
She was Tara.
Oh, Willow's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh,
you didn't recognize her?
No.
Yeah, she's older.
I really didn't.
Old.
I really didn't watch Buffy.
Oh, I watched the hell out of that show.
Yeah, I don't know. What the hell was I into in the 90s? I don't remember. Probably getting into trouble. But yeah, I wasn't into. I mean, I saw a couple of episodes here and there, but it wasn't in my bag.
I mean, it was mixed, as they say in this movie. It was a very monster of the week type show with like the overarching thing, but it was heavily monster of the week because it was network television. So you had like 20 some odd episodes a season. They had to fill up a lot of it. Some of them were really good. Some of them were really creepy.
Sure.
But anyway, that's a tangent.
Right. Neither here nor there. But yeah, I don't know. It's funny. I know Amelia Perez got a lot of backlash, but like I liked that trans story better, although that it sort of imploded with the lead actress just being crazy on social media. But we haven't posted it yet, but we also watched Tangerine, which I liked way more than this.
Yeah, well, that wasn't anybody trying to come to grips with their identity. That was just these people were already
in the life.
They were in the life. They were transitioning.
Right.
So
it's
a different type of thing.
Fair.
I'm trying to think of anything that we've watched that was more that could have that explained the story or showed the story better.
We saw that movie Venus a couple of years ago.
Was that the one with the girl in the school and he was dating that boy?
No, that's the Billy Porter one. Anything's Possible?
Venus.
Venus was the man who transitions
and
to
then he finds out he has a son.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like I like that. That was a good the Billy Porter one. I think that was called Anything's Possible. I have to look it up.
I think you're right.
It's like that was a great trans story.
But then once again, that's also they are there. They're already basically transitioned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if we've ever seen anything where it was somebody who is just like
coming into that moment.
Who is just coming into that moment. Who is just like, this is something that I like. They fight it. It's like I don't want to be this way, but this is what I am, and I must be true to myself or something like that.
Sure.
We've seen movies where it's just about somebody coming out as gay, like that the one that was in England.
Amber. What was it? Dating Amber.
Yes, that one. But anyway, once again, we're going off on a tangent. Anyway, yeah, this is not a good
like
movie.
This at all. I don't understand why this movie got so much praise.
I think because maybe it was trying to do that. It was trying to tell the story, and it's sort of like,
but it doesn't.
You know what? When there is such a dearth of content, any content, you try and elevate it.
I guess
it's really the only thing I could think of. It's sort of. I mean, we just went through. We've watched tons and tons of films, but
I wouldn't say tons. We've seen a few.
Come on.
We've seen a few.
We've been doing this thing for like 4 years now.
5
years. Okay, so we're watching a lot of movies, and this isn't really a subject that has been, I guess, hit upon quite often. So when you get it, it's sort of like, oh well, yeah, we got to do it, and it doesn't look like absolute crap. It's like not some Mar Vista movie or something.
Well, the thing about the production values on this were really good. It felt very rooted in the 90s.
Oh yeah, this was definitely polished. I feel like as far as her skill, it's better than going to the World's Fair. I mean, maybe it was just she's got more money. She's got a better sense of control over the thing. I just don't think she tells a good story. She's not a good storyteller.
This didn't make much money.
I don't think
I can't even tell. They don't tell you the budget, but the gross worldwide is only $5,396,508. And of that amount, $5,017,817 is US and Canada. So
yeah, I never.
This was probably like limited release.
Yeah, I feel like this was,
even though it is A24.
Yeah, I don't think this is one of those films that they were really pushing.
No,
and it makes sense. It's not a good movie.
Yeah,
probably the only thing I found actually entertaining was when they're singing Happy Birthday at the end and he just starts screaming.
Right. And that too was like very like, what is going on? Is this really happening? Is this just happening in his head? Like, I don't know. And that bothered me because it was like, it almost, if I was going to compare this film to something, it would be like the frustration of watching at times, although it was a better written project, the show Lost, where they just kept throwing things at you. Mm-hmm. And it was like, are we going to address any of this? Are we going to address any of these storylines?
I mean, that's different because the stuff they were throwing at you, it made you like wonder about, like, how is this connected to this? How is this connected to this? It didn't really become upsetting and angry until the very end when it's just like, oh yeah, all that stuff, we're just going to kind of just forget about it. Forget it ever happened. This is, you're watching a movie that's like, what, an hour and 40 minutes? Mm-hmm. It's, come on, wrap it up or just tell me something satisfying. It's tough to, you can't have a good movie if you don't care about any of the characters. And,
yes.
And none of the characters were written in any way that made me care about them.
Agreed.
So what do you give this thing?
I give this thing a 3.
I would give it a 3 as well.
Yeah. I'm just so annoyed by this film. The more I think about it, the more annoyed I get.
I wouldn't. I'm not annoyed. I'm just. I don't know. Every once in a while, you're going to see a dud. This was a dud.
It just. I think the thing that annoys me is, to your point, how you mentioned there isn't a plethora of this type of content. So when you do get this content, you're going to have it elevated because you can, and there's an audience for it because there are people that want to see these stories.
That's not the point I was trying to make, though. I was saying, you were asking me why do people talk about this movie, and I'm saying the only reason why is because there is a dearth of content. It's not like this film was good.
No, but a lot of people have said that it was good.
And it's not. In my mind, they're either lying or they're being kind. They're saying, yes, this is very good, but the ulterior motive is it's very good because it's this kind of story, and we must support. And that's why I'm going to use my pulpit to promote it, to amplify it. Good, you have a noble heart. Thank you. You're a nice person to do that, but in all honesty,
it's not a good film or a good story.
In all honesty, this was not an entertaining watch in any way, shape, or form.
No,
it didn't make me think. It didn't. I mean, yeah, if that's the story you're trying to tell, why am I not thinking about it?
Right.
Why has the main focus or the main point of this story just completely flown past my attention, and the only reason why I'm hearing about it is because of an interview with the director. Yeah, I
don't know. And representation is important, but it needs to be done in a better way. Exactly,
and that's why I'm saying that I feel like this film is getting a bit more notice and notoriety just because we've been told that that's what it's about,
right?
But if
nobody had said anything, you would never make that connection.
You'd probably never make that connection. Maybe some people would.
Even with the snippet of Owen wearing the dress, because it comes and it goes so quickly that you're probably thinking like, did I see that? Or whatever. Keep going.
Also, I mean, the snippet with the dress, it just becomes muddied with the entire allegedly supernatural aspect of the story.
Right.
So it's sort of like you're trying to like sneak it in there maybe, and you just don't want to offend the belching horde that is just like, they don't want to see any of that. I don't want to see any of that in my movies.
Yeah.
That wasn't about that at all. Come on, just take a stand. Don't be so hidden about it. Or give it the spotlight. I'm not telling you to shove it in my face. It's just give me something a little bit more. Show me that this is part of this character. Mm-hmm. I mean,
make me care about Owen.
Make me care about him.
Right.
Show me his relationship in a way that the way he interacts with people that gives me a sense of more of a sense of his personality than, oh, he's quiet and possibly autistic. Because that's what I'm getting. That's all you're showing me. I never get the impression, oh, he's quiet and possibly trans. Mm-hmm. That never would have entered my mind.
Never. And this is why.
I mean, we're repeating ourselves, so let's just end this.
You say 3, I say 3. Skip. This is March. It's Women's History Month. We thought we would do a film by a woman director. This is supposed to be about being trans and having that moment of, what is it? What'd you call it? Egg crack?
That's what they refer to it, the egg crack moment.
Egg crack moment.
Are we doing this for women, or
yeah, we're doing it for women?
Are we going to save this for?
Nope, we're going to do it. We're going to post it for Women's Month. I don't know what I'm pairing it with yet, but yeah, I'm definitely posting it this month.
Okay.
I'm just not feeling this film at all.
All right.
Yeah. So it is, if you're curious and want to check it out, we caught it on Max.
Yeah.
You can catch it there. I don't know how long it'll be on there, but we watched it this month. I'm assuming it'll be there at least till the end of the month. But I don't know. I would skip this. I don't even have an alternative to this that I would recommend. I think I'm just so surly right now that my brain is just powering down.
All right.
And that's it from us. And we will bid you all a
good night.
Good night.